Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Pees'lubn Andistan'dhin is the name. I'm like Temple's head monk. Can you dig? Oh, if it isn't Instructor Andistan'dhin, you're the eyewitness? Instructor?
Not only is Mr. Andistan'dhin Temple's head monk, but he's also a renowned Damalon expert.
Sorry to have to ask, but what's a Damalon? Check it. Here she is. My sweet serenader. My one and only. Groovy, right? But you heard our sultry sounds once before, brother. That's the song from the Dance of Devotion. Right on, brother. The Song of Ceremony. Playing this tune together is a precious gig for me and my girl here, you dig? The Song of Ceremony. The song that was playing at the time of the murder. Oh, Holy Mother, may the righteous sounds of my Damalon serve as my offering to you. Wonderful. A great performance as always. This is my thing, you know. My bag. I make instruments speak, baby. By the by, Magistrate Pops, no Damalon class today? No, I'm afraid this trial has gone into overtime, thanks to the lawyer over there. The class the judge wanted to attend was a Damalon lesson? Well, you know what they say, baby. Never trust the lawyer, man. But transgressors against the Holy Mother have to be brought to justice.
Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Andistan'dhin. As the treasure's keeper, you must have been shocked to learn it had been stolen.
Yeah, man. That was not cool. Keeping the treasure safe is one of your duties, Mr. Andistan'dhin? That's right, brother. This here's the one and only treasure box key. And I keep it on me at all times. Can you dig? But the sneaky thief went and cracked open that sucker anyway. Total bummer, man. So that's the key to the treasure box, is it? You know it, baby. It's called the Magatama key. And it's a historical artifact of boot. It's been passed down from head monk to head monk at temple. The Magatama key, huh? And now someone's jacked the treasure, on my watch. It's a real buzzkill, man. How am I ever gonna face Her Holiness again? Oh, Holy Mother, please find it in your infinite mercy to forgive me. Please guide this lost and humble lamb. Why do I always get the far out ones?
Mr. Andistan'dhin, you witnessed the accused and the victim heading to the treasure room.
You know it, baby. Best believe I scoped that tiny transgressor. Would you please give the court your testimony regarding what you saw? To bring justice against the transgressor, man. Yes, of course. I'll do all I can. In the name of Her Holiness, I gotta sing. Naught but the truth, I swear to bring. Hit me. Witness testimony. What I saw, baby. After the morning dance of devotion, to go back to my chamber, I got the notion. Don't you know my chamber is on the way to the temple's treasure room? Hey, hey, hey. Any small footsteps I can quite clearly hear if anyone in the treasure room goes near. Ahl'bi was the only one. Ahl'bi was the only one. Before the blackout, one other than Rawl. Only Ahl'bi to the treasure room did stroll. Tell me I was hallucinating just now. Like, can you believe Mr. Rawl bit the big one after that? Harsh, man.
I share your sentiments. You're the one who discovered the victim's body, weren't you, Mr. Andistan'dhin?
What? You found the body as well? He really is a key witness then. That's right, brother. After the blackout, I went to reset the breaker and give power back to the people. The circuit box is near my chamber, so I'm always the man for the job, you feel me?
The breakers are in the first floor hallway in front of the storeroom.
On the way, I got a whiff of something funky. Blood, man, really harshed my mellow. I knew something wasn't kosher, so I swung by the treasure room to see what's what. And it was like, whoa, man, there was poor Mr. Rawl dead as a doornail. So the temple diagram was updated.
In the interval between the end of the dance of the devotion and the blackout, the only ones who went to the scene of the crime were the victim and the accused. So you see, Mr. Andistan'dhin's unassailable account is what led to the accused arrest.
Hold it! Isn't it possible that the murder took place before the end of the dance of the devotion?
I'm afraid that's not possible. The victim was in the performance hall until the very end of the dance.
He was?
Would you like some proof? How's this? A photo of that morning's dance of devotion taken by a tourist.
My, what graceful dancing. I can almost hear the sound of Mr. Andistan'dhin's demeanor now. Payne's right. There's Mr. Rawl on duty.
Never underestimate the incredible Payne.
So in addition to Rafa's insights, he had backup evidence lined up too, huh?
Of course he did.
As head monk, my monks in training are like my own kids. Like family, can you dig it? I should have taught Ahl'bi better, man. Before Her Holiness the Holy Mother. Oh, Ahl'bi, confess your sins, my young brother. Head monk Andistan'dhin, I didn't kill Mr. Rawl, so I don't have anything to confess to the Holy Mother. What? Bogus little man, your faith is weak like a wet paper bag. Are you feeling me? Spare the bride, hey baby. Spoil the child, not maybe. Her Holiness is magnanimous, son. If you confess your guilt, she'll forgive you in the Twilight Realm. I don't suppose she could forgive him in this realm first.
Defense, please begin your cross-examination.
Time to find out what's going on. I don't like it. After the morning dance of devotion to go back to my chamber, I got the notion. Don't you know my chamber's on the way to the temple's treasure room? Hey, hey. Any small footsteps I can quite clearly hear if anyone to the treasure room goes near. Ahl'bi was the only one. Ahl'bi was the only one.
Hold it!
How could you tell it was Ahl'bi just from the sound of some footsteps? Ahl'bi is practically family, man. The smooth groove of his shoes are easy to pick out. But how do you know he went to the treasure room? Didn't you think it was possible he went to the storeroom at the other end of the hall? No way, man. I saw him with my own two eyes. You saw him? In the treasure room, this you can believe. My peepers peep the sneaky sneak Ahl'bi.
And tell us where it is you stood when you saw the accused, if you would.
When I heard the footsteps, I looked out the window. From my window I can see the window of the first floor hallway across the courtyard, you dig? and through that window I saw Ahl'bi walking in the treasure room. Should I have him add this statement to his testimony? Yes. Could you please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Andistan'dhin? You got it, brother. Through the window, I did spy little Ahl'bi with my own eye. I see. Then how do you explain this notice, then?
Objection!
There's something off about that, Mr. Andistan'dhin. My music's off? I'm sorry you feel that way, man. Maybe this vibe ain't topping the charts where you're from. What's your poison? Orchestra? Jazz soul? There's nothing wrong with my ears, witness, but something's not quite right with your eyes. Mr. Andistan'dhin, you've been lying to this court. Now, why would I lie? I got nothing to hide. Truth and truth alone is all I sing. Lying, y'all? Nah, lying ain't my thing. I contend otherwise. Do you recognize this object, Mr. Andistan'dhin? It's a temple notice, man. What of it? In this notice, the following instruction to the temple monks is written. All the hallway shutters will remain shut for today's dance of devotion. What you talking about, Phoenix? I'm talking about the fact that from your chamber, you couldn't have seen anyone going into the treasure room through those shutters. Yeah! Looks like you didn't get the memo. No way! I don't believe it, man! If you don't believe it, why don't you read the notice for yourself? Let's see. Something, something, will, something, for something, something. Is that your idea of reading? I'm not so hot at reading Khura'inese, man. I usually get one of the other monks to read stuff for me, you know? Doesn't that make your duties as head monk a little difficult? Hey, cut me some slack, man. I only moved to this country 6 months ago. That's quite recent, isn't it? So, how did someone who's only been here 6 months become head monk of a temple?
How little you understand. Religious faith can't be measured in months or years. I've only been an adherent of Khura'inism for 3 months and myself. The Holy Mother's teachings really spoke to me, prompting me to stay in this country.
Or was it the fact that there are no lawyers here that spoke to you, Mr. Payne, I know just how you feel, my man. Her Holiness's teaching spoke to me too. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Brother Dumb and Brother Dumber. Yup, they are dumb as hell. Well, I know why Payne suddenly became a believer in Khura'inism, but could Andistan'dhin have had an ulterior motive for becoming a believer too? Mr. Andistan'dhin, were you really in your chamber as you claim? What? Hey, be chill, brother. Weren't you instead somewhere else?
Objection!
Mr. Wright, what kind of nonsense are you spouting now? According to Mr. Andistan'dhin's testimony, he saw Ahl'bi with his own eyes. Therefore, is it really nonsense to suggest he could have seen Ahl'bi from somewhere else? Well, do you have a theory, defense? Do you know where Mr. Andistan'dhin was, if not in his chamber? If he wasn't in his room, then if Ahl'bi had gone down the hallway towards the treasure room, there are only a few places he could have seen Ahl'bi from. I do have a theory, Your Majesty. Let's say the witness really did see Ahl'bi going towards the treasure room. What then? The defense proposes this is the only place he could have been to see Ahl'bi go down that hall. The hallway itself.
Take that!
There? But you just suggested earlier that that's where the true culprit might have been. True. But no matter how I look at it, this is the only place Andistan'dhin could have been. Mr. Foreign Lawyer, don't tell me. Are you accusing Mr. Andistan'dhin of being the true culprit in this case? Yes. Yes, Your Majesty. I contend there's a strong possibility this witness is the murderer.
Objection! How dare you be so disrespectful? First you criticize her benevolence as insights. Now you accuse the head monk of murder?
Objection! This is the only place the witness could have been. If he was here, he could have struck the victim down from behind and moved his body to the treasure room.
That's nothing but groundless conjecture!
And there's one more thing. Do you remember what was said in the opening argument?
The opening argument?
During that argument, it was suggested that Ahl'bi used his position as monk in training to get his hands on the treasure.
That's right! And what of it?
Well, why don't we try this twist on for size? The thief used his position as head monk of a temple to get a hold of the treasure.
What? What?
You joshing me, man! The key to the treasure box has been passed down from head monk to head monk. What better position to be in if you want to steal the treasure?
You can't possibly be serious. Does this mean you're claiming that Mr. Andistan'dhin's oath of faith is nothing but a lie designed to get him close to the treasure?
The witness hasn't been truthful in his testimony to the court, so clearly he isn't above lying. Didn't you swear to the Holy Mother that naught but the truth would you bring? In light of that, I don't think it's unfair to call your faith into question.
This is ridiculous! Are there no limits to what this lawyer will say? I mean, lie is such a strong word. Maybe it was just a mistake.
Okay, now what? Enough with the nervous rec routine, prosecutor. You're just embarrassing yourself, man.
What? What was that, Mr. Andistan'dhin?
Lawyer man, you really are the lowest of the low. You've gone and said something I can't forgive. You called my belief into question, my faith in the Holy Mother. And nobody gets away with that.
What the hell? What on earth? That music! It's making my ears bleed!
The bigger question is, how do you get these sound speakers there? This is the music of my soul! Dab to the lawyer! I'm the Twilight Messenger. Can't you tell? Gonna take this lying lawyer straight to hell. He's dripping with lies, running with Philistines. I'm gonna send that lawyer to the guillotines. And now for something completely different. That plinkety-plunk music just wouldn't let me express my rage. Your rage, huh? Isn't the real source of your anger having your lie exposed? You just don't get it. If I lied, it's because you drove me to it. All sniffing around and suspicious and throwing out false accusations. Sorry, but as a lawyer, I'm afraid that's my job. Yeah, well, lawyers are crap. Keep making noise, and I'll have to use my partner here on you. I'm the one making noise. Hey, so you want to know the truth, huh? Think you can handle the truth, do you? Fine. Let's see you try. Feel the heat of my brutal death beat. Savage, right? Sweating bullets, ain't ya? The screams of my soul are gonna make a mosh pit out of this peanut gallery. Did he really just win the court over with that performance? Yo, geezer, I got something to testify. Get ready for the howling of my soul. I call this chart topper soul screaming truth. We gotta press every statement on this one. Witness testimony. Soul screaming truth. The priestess's dance had come to an end. To the music storeroom, my way I did went. Death, truth is what you dread. Hear me shred. From my spot in front of the storeroom, I saw Ahl'bi creep to the treasure room. And trailing from behind, hound on the scent, I saw Pat roll after Ahl'bi he went. Me and my girl, innocent and sweet, back by the storeroom, can't be beat. Then out went the power, ticket to midnight, blacker than blackest black robin, all sides. Yeah, baby, let that soul metal flow.
What is that music? I've never heard anything like it. And it's so fast, it's making my head spin.
This is Demeanor Metal! Hey, yo, geezer, how are those ears ringing? I don't know much about music, but I've got chills and they're multiplying. You scared, lawyer man? Run away fast as you can!
What a wonderful rhythm. The perfect accompaniment for further deliberations. Now, Mr. Andistan'dhin, what did you go to the music storeroom for?
Hey, I went to put my Domelon away. She's my precious partner. Gotta give her a good rest after playing the right.
But then why did you lie before?
Because you'd send me to hell.
Huh?
We all know about lawyers and their lying lawyerly ways. Am I right, people? If I admitted I went to the storeroom, he'd have drum up a false charge on me. I didn't want to get sent to hell. What do you say? He's right. That so would have happened. Now I see why that Defense Culpability Act was passed. You feel me, Khura'in? Yeah, you said it.
Is it too much to ask for a low-key trial?
Now, are you punks ready to rock or what? I can't hear you. I said you ready to teach this lying lawyer how we do things around here? Yeah! All right, then I'm gonna lay it on you one more time. The screaming truth of my soul.
Dear God. I remember playing this in 2016, it's still just as insane as it is now.
The priestess's dance had come to an end. To the music storeroom, my way I went.
Hold it! Press every statement.
You say you went to the music storeroom? But how did we know you didn't go to the treasure room to steal the treasure instead? And on what grounds would you base that accusation? Guy ain't in the show for it?
He's right. I don't really have any proof. And yet...
Well, you can't prove that you didn't go to the treasure room earlier. You stole the treasure and were ready to make your getaway when you saw Mr. Roll. So you panicked and ran into the music storeroom. Isn't that right?
Why do I feel like I'm being stabbed by icy stares from every direction?
This silence is your answer, lawyer man. This audience knows the score. Just what we needed. A moment of silence to bid this lawyer's baseless claim goodbye.
Why do they have to hate lawyers so much in this country?
I said it before and I'll say it again, lawyer man. After the priestess's dance, I went to the music storeroom. Deaf truth is what you dread. Hear me shred!
So what exactly do you mean by deaf truth?
It's the blade of truth that's gonna send your lawyer's soul to hell. A sea of blood will be the last thing you ever see.
I'm not sure I want to get what he's saying.
I didn't expect a bobblehead like you to understand. Either you get it and you feel it or you don't. Simple as that. From my spot in front of the storeroom, I saw Ahl'bi creep to the treasure room.
Hold it!
How did Ahl'bi appear at the time? Come to think of it, he was glancing around all shifty-like. You could tell he was up to no good. Shady, I tell you.
What's that saying about people who live in glass houses?
Well, he was about to steal the treasure, so it only stands to reason he looked furious.
Objection!
The defendant admitted he was sneaking in to see the treasure box. Wouldn't that be why he was looking around?
What's that, people? Only the Holy Mother knows the truth, you say? Bzz, wrong. Pees'lubn knows the score, baby. From my lips to our Holy Mother's ear, an artist only sings what he saw there. In other words, my reasoning isn't good enough for good God Boy here.
And what did you see next, Mr. Andistan'dhin?
And trailing from behind, hound on the scent, I saw Pat roll. After Ahl'bi he went.
Something tells me this is gonna be a spectacular waste of time, but what do you mean by hound on the scent?
What? You don't get it? It's always the same, y'all. Lyrics question without mercy. The more famous the song, the greater the controversy.
It wasn't your lyrical sense I was questioning.
I say hound on the scent like a hunting dog, cause, you know, Raw was a guard and...
Uh-oh, here we go.
The inspiration came to me suddenly like a flash and... That's okay. You don't have to explain your lyrics anymore. Hey, you're the one who asked.
I knew I shouldn't have asked. Mr. Andistan'dhin, you're still on the stand. Please stick to your testimony. You can explain your lyrics to me later in Damalon class.
Fine, have it your way, geezer. The show must go on. Me and my girl, innocent and sweet, back by the storeroom, can't be beat.
What exactly were you doing in the music storeroom?
There, get the picture?
Picture? What picture? Mr. Andistan'dhin is requesting that you not ask him the same thing over and over.
Hey, geezer, you got it in one. Take a bow, baby.
How the heck did he understand that?
What was I doing in the music storeroom, you ask? I already told you. I was taking care of my partner in crime, getting ready to put her away. But see, would you believe it? Then out went the power. Take it at midnight. Blacker than blackest black, robbing all sight.
Where were you when the power outage occurred?
Like I said, I was in the music storeroom. My girl had been sounding a little off, so I had to get her back in tune.
Isn't it true that you were actually in the hallway at the time?
The hallway, you say? Why would I be in the hallway?
You were waiting for Mr. Rawl to come back from his patrol of the treasure room. Now that he discovered that the treasure had been stolen, you were gonna kill him.
Lawyer man, just as always, so full of ball. Spewing noxious lies and pulling the wool. Filthy liar through and through. And I ain't never, ever gonna forgive you.
Utter lies with no evidence. As always, his claims are just tenuous.
Hey, nice, prosecutor. I'm picking up what you're throwing down. Someone stop their jam session, please.
You've made your assertions clear, defense, but your argument is rather unsubstantiated.
That's not good.
What's so funny, Pees'lubn Andistan'dhin?
Nevertheless, the possibility is still there. You can't deny the witness could have killed the victim under cover of darkness.
You're forgetting one very important thing.
Huh?
It seems you've forgotten that the outage happened by chance, not design.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. I did forget about that. It's not like the witness planned the outage so he can take advantage of the darkness. And without darkness, it would have been hard to sneak up behind Mr. Rawl and kill him.
You're right.
Even I would notice someone coming up behind me. Well, defense, what do you have to say about that?
What can I say about that?
Mr. Wright, your claim is completely without merit, unless you want to argue that the witness somehow magically made the outage happen.
Well, maybe not magically, but... Wait, that's it! I contend the witness could have made the power outage happen, with no magic necessary.
What? You have a theory, defense?
All he had to do was make use of something shown on this diagram. What did the witness use to make the power outage happen?
Point to the breaker. Where else?
Take that!
The witness was in the storeroom. The circuit box is on the storeroom end of the hallway. There's nothing really magical about turning off the breaker, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Nice try, but that theory doesn't hold water, lawyer man. And why not? You're saying I turned the breaker off and then snuck up on Mr. Roll and hit him? In pitch black darkness with no source of light whatsoever? Is that what you're saying? With the lights off, that hallway is blacker than 100 midnights. You can't see the hand in front of your face. How can anybody commit murder like that? Unless it was somebody standing right in front of the victim like the accused. I hate when he's right, but I can't just let his point stand. Well, maybe the victim was holding something that served as a guide.
A guide through the darkness? Something? That's more than a little vague, wouldn't you agree?
You ain't gonna move this room with a half-baked hunch like that, bro. You gotta hit him hard, really make him feel it, you hear me? Just like my verse, baby. Woo!
Well, I'm afraid I don't understand the witness's lyrics very well either. But in a trial, your arguments have to be clear and precise. Let's see some of that clarity and precision now, defense. Uh-oh. What do I do? Can you present to us something that could have served as a guide through the darkness?
I can. Yes, I can.
Because there has to be something. All right, let's see what you have, defense. What could the victim have been holding that served as a guide through the darkness? What else? What else? The treasure box.
Take that!
I believe the victim was holding the treasure box. Huh?
Have you gone mad?
Well, the box glows in the dark, so you could use it as a sort of beacon.
Well, I guess you're right. But why in the world would the victim be holding the treasure box?
Oh, well, because... Your guess is as good as mine. What is this lawyer talking about? Nonsense and lies yet again. Just give him the death penalty already. Is there no way to win them over?
Defense. Are we going to be needing those tongue shears after all?
No, Your Majesty. Yeah, man, do it. Then we can jam out of this lawyer's shrieks of pain. Better get those screams of agony out now, lawyer man, while you still have a ton to scream with. I guess I better come up with a reason.
No pressure or anything.
As to why the victim was holding the treasure box, it can easily be explained as thus.
Brain, don't fail me now.
What reason could the victim possibly have to be holding that treasure box? The victim was holding the treasure box because he was a thief. It's an idea I just happened to stumble upon, but I think it just might be the answer. And it would turn this whole trial upside down.
Hello, defense, are you still with us? Let's hear this easy explanation you promised.
Isn't it possible that it was because the victim himself was the thief?
The victim?
The thief? What kind of bull are you spewing now? Your Majesty, this guy's off his rocker. If the victim was the thief, everything we've learned so far would all make sense. And it would give us a completely new way to interpret the victim's actions. After the morning dance of devotion, Mr. Roll went to the treasure room. He grabbed the box that contained the treasure and started to take off with it. But then he ran into Ahl'bi on the great stairs. That's why Mr. Roll pulled his gun on Ahl'bi. Then, when the blackout occurred, Mr. Rawl was bludgeoned to death in the darkness. This explains why the victim would be holding the glowing treasure box in the dark, and how it would have been possible for someone other than the accused to kill him.
Do you have any idea what you're saying?
You're unbelievable, lawyer man. I think you've lost it. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Roll? Trying to roll the temple? That devout believer? That Phoenix Wrightist?
I won't allow you to disparage the victim's departed soul with unfounded allegations. I hope you're prepared to back up your claim.
Of course, Your Majesty. Oh, really? In that case, can we assume you have proof?
Uh-oh. Proof, huh? Do I have any proof? But I can't back down now. Yes, I have proof. In my dreams. The proof that Mr. Rawl was the thief may have been left behind on a certain piece of evidence. Very well. Let's see your evidence and be ready to stand behind it. Footprints, fingerprints. I'll take anything at this point. I need proof, something that would have been involved with the theft. And that might still have some trace evidence left of it. What proof do you have that the victim might have been the thief? The treasure box, yet again.
Take that!
The defense would like to examine the treasure box. There might be trace evidence of it that would show that the victim had held it. Might? You'd better hope you turn up something more definitive than that defense.
Yes, sir, Your Majesty.
Very well. Bailiff, bring the treasure box.